All right, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Timothy Bish. I am a co-founder and co-host of the Circle podcast, and I'm very excited to be bringing you this 15-minute back to basics breathwork snack. This breath practice is simple and powerful, can be done anywhere, and is meant to help create balance. So if you are feeling a little stressed or anxious, it can balance that out. If you're feeling a little lethargic or withdrawn, it can also balance that out. And we're going to be working with three different breath techniques. Breath technique number one is circular or two-part breath. That's where the inhale and the exhale are of equal length, moving an equal volume of air. The inhale spills into the exhale back into the inhale. And the image I like to use here is a wheel rolling down a hill. Continuous, no beginning, no end. Then we will transition into three-part breath, where we will inhale, we'll hold the breath at the top, we'll be full of breath in our body, and we'll exhale. And it becomes a triangular breath. Inhale, hold at the top, and exhale. And as we hold the breath at the top, I invite you to try to relax your physical body around the breath, a little bit like the plastic part of a balloon is sort of resting on the air inside of that balloon. And then finally, we'll come into box breathing. So we'll inhale, we'll hold at the top, we'll exhale, and then we'll hold at the bottom. So as we hold at the top, just like in triangular or three-part breath, you're going to try to let your body relax around the fullness of the breath within you. And at the bottom, when we're empty, you're going to focus or feel into this potential space that exists, into which you can bring whatever is nourishing, whatever is needed. So enjoying the emptiness into which you can bring consciously that which serves you right now. So circular breath or two-part breath, then triangular breath or three-part breath, or then box breath or four-part breath. And we're going to settle with each of these for a little bit of time. So wherever you are now, so glad you're here, find a comfortable seat. So I'm on my Zafu meditation cushion, and you may be too, but you also may be in an office chair or in a sofa or some other seat. Wherever you are, take a moment to let yourself be as comfortable as you can be. Start to let the legs and hips rest deeply into your seat. And regardless of where you are, even if you're leaning back and letting the backrest support you, keep a gentle, uplifted quality through your spine. And the image I like to use is that your skull is like a balloon and your spine is like the string on that balloon, and it's floating up. So it's lifted up without unnecessary tension. And then if you're available to it, close your eyes or lower your gaze and just go inside and notice your natural, unaffected breath right now. Now, our breath changes throughout the day and day to day. Sometimes our breath is longer and slower, sometimes it is faster and quicker, and you may or may not be aware of it, depending on how closely you pay attention. Wherever your breath is today is fine. So I'm just asking you now to start to notice where your breath is now. And I want you to start to see if you can bring a 4 count to your natural unaffected breath. A 1, 2, 3, 4 as you inhale, and a 1, 2, 3, 4 as you exhale. And as we do this, each of us will have a slightly different count, depending on who we are and how we are and what it is we're doing today. But as you start to clue into your 4 count breath, see if you can start to make your inhale and exhale equal so that they both fit in. And then if you're wanting just a little bit of a challenge, take your natural 4 count breath and make it just a little bit longer, just a little bit fuller. And we'll start to come in now to our circular 2-part breath. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale, Exhale. And continue on your own. Now, you may notice that your natural breath is already different than mine. That is totally okay. What's important is that you find this breath that feels full, manageable, and that is authentic to where you are in this moment. And now I invite you to try to make the breath as continuous as you can so that it feels as if the breath never pauses, the inhale spilling into the exhale back into the inhale. And as we stay with this practice for a little while longer, I want you to start to notice what happens in the physical body when we focus on this even, continuous breath. And if you're able, with every exhale, you can allow or invite any relaxation that might be available to you. And as you continue with this breath now, I want you to visualize that there's a belt wrapped around your lower abdomen at the level of your navel. With every inhale, you expand your torso out equally in 360 degrees, almost like you are a tree trunk breathing. And as you exhale, allow that to relax back towards the midline of the body. Beautiful. Now, building on our two-part breath, continuing as you are doing, we will shortly come into our three-part breath, where we'll take our two-part breath, but hold the breath in. And remember, the invitation as you hold the breath in full of breath is that you relax your physical body around the breath to the best of your ability. So at the end of your next natural exhalation, you'll inhale, hold the breath in, exhale. And then again, right away, inhale. Hold the breath in, exhale. Inhale. Hold in, exhale. Beautiful. And as you continue with this practice, inhaling, holding at the top, and exhaling in that same four counts in, four count hold, four counts out, and the four counts that are most authentic to you today. See if you can relax your physical body. The image I like to think of is laying on a TheraBall, maybe at the gym or in a physical therapy office, and how you can fully drape yourself over and release any unnecessary holding. Continue with this breath for just a little while longer. See if on every exhale you can release not only physical holding, but any mental or emotional holding, expectations, feelings about a situation, even if just for the moment you can soften that and let that fall away. And on that exhale, everything just lets go. And now we begin to transition into our box breath. So continuing with your triangular 3-part breath. When we move into box breath, everything will stay the same, and we'll add the exhale retention. We'll be empty of space. This is potentially the most challenging part of this breath practice because it can sometimes feel like we are needing something and occasionally feel a little panicky. Today, probably not, because we're in a very gentle count based on our natural unaffected breath. However, you still might feel a little bit of effort necessary. And the invitation now is for you to focus on the potential space, creating space, much like when you clean a room, creating space into which you can bring whatever it is that you need. So at the end of your next exhalation of your last triangular or 3-part breath, you'll come back into the inhale. You'll hold the breath at the top and relax as much as you can. Then you'll exhale. Hold the breath at the bottom and feel the space that exists within you. And inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Continuing on your own, allowing yourself to settle into this rhythm, knowing that every 4 counts, there's a shift, something changes. Continuing with this 4-part box breath for just a little while longer. And start to notice the evenness of the inhale retention, the exhale, and the exhale retention. And start to become curious about this experience as if you are cleaning a chalkboard and creating a fresh slate onto which you can write or draw or create whatever you want. Allow this natural rhythm to clear whatever has happened, providing clarity, presence, and groundedness for the rest of your day. A few more rounds. And at the end of your next round of box or 4-part breath, you can allow that practice to fall away, allow your breath to become natural and unaffected, and take a moment now to just notice your physical sensations and the quality and content of your mind. You'll likely have moved into a more even, clear, grounded space as I feel I have. And I want to take a moment of appreciation and gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me for this 15-minute back to basics practice, circular breath, 3-part breath, box breath. Remember that these practices are available to you. Take them into your life and into your world if they serve. If you have any questions, let us know. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.